Hello students, very good morning. In this video, we will discuss about food quality control. Food quality control in the nutrition and health, that lesson. See that before that, nutrition means what? Health. We have to maintain happiness health. Or then diseaseless health. Like that, we have to maintain means if you need, want to take a nutrient. Who those are the taking the nutrient food in the proper way means that person is not affected easily in some disease. That's a communicable disease or nutrient deficiency of the disease, like that. In case who those are is not taking the nutrient, that means the properly is not taking carbohydrate or protein or fat or minerals and vitamins, like that. Anyone the deficiency that present in our body means that related to disease will be affected in the particular persons who those are not taking properly that nutritions. Yes or no? The before that they classified in the nutritions. What are the types? What are the classification? How many classifications that present? That 5. What are the carbohydrate, protein, fat, mineral and vitamins. In this lesson, the before that I explained in briefly in protein deficiency of the vitamins, and then water soluble vitamins, and then fat soluble vitamins. What are the protein deficiency of the disease? Only the two disease. What the kwashiorkor and the marasmus. That two diseases will affect in only the under 5 year children. Yes or no? Say, let us say the food quality and control. Why we want to study this means because of the some persons, the public, that's a government duty. Our government duty want to check that food. The properly they are present, or quality they are present, or quality is not present means we want to ban that food items. In case you not ban that food item means that food item who those are will consume. Who those are will consume that food package or that particular packet. Consuming means that may easily they spread some communicable disease. That one want to avoid. That's a necessary function of having our government. So our government is taking so many actions. That's the reason. This is one. The food quality and control. How we want to control that? How we want to make a nutrition or the quality of food. That before that we want to check. Whenever you have food package that going on in the food industry, that before want to take in some sample, the essentials that present or not, maybe they're contaminated or not. Then more than percentage they're contaminated, the chemical means want to ban that. That works will do in our government. Yes or no? See, now you take the lesson. The government always ensure that pure and safe food is made available to consumers. That means what? The consumers is not preparing the home itself nowadays. The before only prepare the cooking in ourselves and then make a food and we eat it. But nowadays that going on. Nowadays the persons are the peoples. The so many peoples is not preparing in them homemade food because their life is going on in more fastly. It's not taking time. Like that persons will eat in the packaged food. That packaged food you're taking, your consumer means that you have to check a nutrition level or quality level. That purpose will do this. Under the 1954, the Indian government enacted the food law, now was the Preservation of Food Adulteration Act. That means in 1954. 1954 will make a law. Which one means or which law means that is the Indian government enacted the food law now as Preservation of Food Adulteration Act. Preservation Food Adulteration Act when you make or when was the introduced that law means the 1954 in India, our government. What the reasons means because of want to make a quality food. And the Adulteration Act and the Preservation of Food Adulteration rules in 1955 with the objectives. 1955 will objectives. What are the principles we want to follow during the food making? And have ensured the pure and wholesome food to the consumers and protect them from the fundamental trade practice. This is a fundamental trade practice. And the minimum standard of quality for food and the static hygienic conditions for its sale are clearly outlined in Act. That Act given in some rules and regulations. That 1955 will make a HAB duties. That HAB duties means that mentioned how want to prepare, what are the rules and regulations we want to follow during the package of the food. What are the nutrients they want to present? What are the essentials they want to present? How much of the chemical substance they want to utilize? In case maximum of the chemicals they are adding means what the privileges. See, under the 1954 will make a law, and the 1955 will make a habits. How about law of food preservation and adulteration? And the food quality and control agencies. What are the food quality and control agencies that are present in our country? The present in first one ISI. ISI means what? Indian Standard Institution. Indian Standard Institution. Indian Standard Institution. And the next one, Hugmark. Hugmark. This is only utilized for agriculture making. Where utilized this? Agriculture making. Agriculture making. And next, FPO, that is Fruit Process Order. Process order. And next, FCI. FCI. And the SSAI. See, this like so many agencies that are present. FCI means Food Corporation of India. Food Corporation of India. FSSAI. FSSAI means the food safety and standard Authority of India. Authority of India. Like that, some agencies that present in our government or India will make in like that agencies. See, the first one I will explain about in one by one. First one, ISI. What is the main function of ISI means? They are having in ISI the Indian Standard Institution. Now was the bearer of Indian Standard. Now we will know in BIS. What is the main function ISI means? The certificate industrial product like the electrical appliance. The industrial product and like electrical appliance, switches, wiring, cables and water heater, electric motor, kitchen appliance. See, whenever you see that adulterations, that time will mention in the construction works they are using in the TMT chemical. You know, the TMT. Like that mentioning in ISI. They are mentioning that ISI. That's a Indian Standard Institution. Like that, want to mention in only the electrical appliance and then what are the like the switches, wire cable, water heater and electric motor, kitchen appliance in etc. That is the main function of ISI. And then Hugmark, second one, where utilizing this agency, what the main function means, the presence of the agriculture products. What are the products that are present? You have to list out that. That product in marking only the Hugmark. Or to mention in Hugmark. Under FPO, that's a main function, Fruit Process Order. Fruit Process Order. That means the certificate, the fruit product in juice or the juice, jam and sauce, then canned fruit and vegetables and pickles. Like that, any particles or any packages the present means this agency want to give the approval. This agency given the approval means then only will sell that particular jam or jelly, packaged fruits and packaged vegetables and then pickles. And the FSA. FSA means the full form of FSA in Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. What is their main function? Responsible for protecting and then promoting the public health through regulation and then supervision of the food safety. This agency only that nowadays will checking the waters, all waters. Then suddenly will enter the inside of the water, will checking the samples, they are properly they are maintaining or not. What are the chemicals they are using? What are the substances they are using? The quality they are having or not? That process will do in the FSA. Because of this agency only will involved in the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. They are responsible for protecting and then promoting the public health through the regulation and supervision of the food safety. See, this is the department enforced the minimum standard for the consumer products that was set up in the year the 1965 with the following activities. 1965 will make a following agencies. This one, what are the 1965 following agencies? What are the effective support operations for the safeguarding the investment of farms and the distributing food grains throughout the country, the distributing fruits throughout the country. That before not taking a quality test, then only if you want to take a distribute in the entire country, that before want to make a test. That's a quality test. A quality test that get the approval means thereafter only then only you have to distribute in the entire country. Otherwise, the quality is not compromising. The quality is reduced. That's not having any nutrient is the deficiency they're having means is not distributed the particles other than food materials. And then maintaining satisfactory level of operational and buffer stock of food grains to ensure national security. That means this is the national security. Why we are mentioning the national security means in case of this is the agencies. Any one agencies is not doing the duty properly. Not doing that properly means just to imagine the situations after that. The good example in FSA. FSA will maintain in promoting of the public health. That's the reason the regulating and supervising of the food productivity, food safety. In case this agency is not doing that duty means they will not do that work. They will not doing that work means that persons then using in any other contaminant particles. That contaminant particles they are utilizing for the public. Consumers only, the public only, the consumers. That publics will take means that will affect in some disease. Some disease will affect. Maybe the disease will spread in easily. That means the communicable disease like that. We are suddenly spread in that particular area, and the next level will reach in very quickly. That's the reason that time like that disease will spread in the entire state or entire district or the entire country means that time is not possible. You prevent the disease. It's not ensure that disease. That's the reason that before that want to take in the proper actions in the each and every activities, other agencies. That the agencies is doing that perfectly means that after he is not affected in any disease or not spread in any disease easily. Yes or no? So that's the reason that our government will make agencies. Say sometimes we will ask the questions, what are the agencies made in our country? What are the agencies that are present in our country? Like that questions anyone asking me to just list out that what are the agencies that are present? ISI, Indian Standard Institution, HAGMAR. That HAGMAR, the only they are involved in the given in certificate making in agriculture product. What are the agriculture products that mentioned? So just you have mentioned the cells and essential oils and pearls and then honey and then butter like that. And the FPO. And next FCA and FSA. You don't get confusions that between the FPO and FCA. FCA means that's a corporation. C for corporation. Food Corporation of India. FPO means the food process. Food process is not a food process. Food means FCI will come. Will get the FCI means then only you have to mention the F over D food. But PO will come means that I want to write in that this is not a food, that's a fruit. That's a Fruit process order. That's a food process order. Say, let us the entire lesson I will quick revise in now, because this is the last session of this lesson. In the lesson order, in the session order, the lesson mudide, and then will come your exam questions. Say that now I have declared your exam portion that coming exam. That means this month exam portion, nutrition and health in this lesson, and before lesson, hormone system in animals. This one, and second one, organ system in animals. This two lesson, this month portion. This month portions, what are the lessons? Only the two lessons. This two lesson itself will ask that 50 mark questions will be conducted your exam. The 50 marks means they are mentioned in the 1 mark questions, and then 2 mark questions, and then 4 mark questions, and 7 mark questions, like that, so that your blueprint is the 50 marks. 50 marks. Maximum then 85 to 95% will ask only book back. Only book back. Book back questions will ask them maximum number of the questions. What are the questions they are asking? What is that blueprint? What is that blueprint means? They choose the best answers that present. Choose the best answer in 11 questions that will be given, and then 2 more questions that are given. 2 more questions you want to write in then 5 questions, and then 4 more questions you want to write in 4 questions. 3 more questions you want to write in 3 questions. They are given in 4 questions. 4 7 mark questions they are given. You have to write in 3 7 mark questions, and 6 4 mark questions they are given. You have to write in 4 4 mark questions. So that each questions that mentioned in mark. This is a descriptive type of the exams. You have to write yourself. You don't use your textbook. Just you have to read once. I will mark in next class. Next video I will mark after the sessions. After once revise, I will mark the question answers. Which questions were present the answers. That before that you have to know your textbooks. Who those are is not having your textbook, please collect your textbook, ensure your textbooks. Then next video I will mark the question answers, then each and every questions from your textbook back and India questions. As well as you have to the textbooks, if you have in the textbook means I will mention the page number. The example I will mention in the 235. Like that means you have to take that page and then which paragraph, which line from to there. Like that I will mention that you have to make a mark. Yes or not? Like that your marking means you very easy the thorough the questions. Don't thorough, you understood and thorough the questions. Yes or no? Next video I will mark the 2 lessons. What are the organ system and animal and nutrition and health. This 2 lessons only for this month your exam. Descriptive type of exam in 50 marks. And then see now they explain in the entire lesson of nutrition and health. Nutrition and health. Nutrition and health means very simple. That what are the nutrients that are present? You have to know what are the nutrients. That means then based on the nutrients that are classified in the 5 category. That what are that? Maybe you will ask the nutrient 1 more questions. How many classification? What are the type of classification that are classified in nutrition or nutrient in our body? They basically classified in 5 types. What are that? You have to mention the carbohydrate. The carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamin and minerals. I mentioned in single letter. You don't write like that. You have to write in the full form, full words. Yes or no? See the 5 types that are present. This one. And the carbohydrate means what? What are the type of carbohydrate? Carbohydrates are classified in the mono and poly and di. Mono means what? Single glucose molecules that take place in the carbohydrate means that is called in monosaccharide. Or dual or 2 sugar molecules that are present in carbohydrate means that is called disaccharide. And then more than number of the sugar molecules that are present means that is called what? That is polysaccharide. So like that we have to study that. And they are mentioned the proteins. What is the difference between the protein and carbohydrate and fat and minerals and vitamins? Each and every nutrients that are involved in some specific functions. The growth regulatory actions that are involved in protein. And then fat that provide in diet energy. That means whenever you take the food particles, that's itself they want to present the food. Fat. The fat is not taking in individually. Yes or no? And then vitamins. Vitamins, there is no need than maximum quantity. That's a minimum quantity that present means that's enough. No need in maximum. The micro quantities. Micro quantities are minimum quantities. The presence of the vitamins means that's enough for our day-to-day activities. And then minerals. Minerals, you know, macro and micro. Macro minerals means what? Which minerals you are consuming in more quantity? That's a macro. Which minerals you are consuming in minor or minute quantity? That is called a micronutrient. What are the nutrients that are present? You have to list out that. And the vitamins that are classified are divided into two categories on the based on solubility. The first one, water soluble vitamins, and next one, fat soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins, VDEK. Fat soluble vitamins, VDE and K. What are that? What are that? In between the presence of the water soluble. Water soluble vitamins in the B, B1, B3, B6 and B12. B1, B2, missing in B2, B2, B3, B6 and the B12 and vitamin C. These are in water soluble. Is that no? So the fat soluble vitamin means what? What are that? You have to list out that how many vitamins you are divided or classified under a fat soluble. Like that, maybe we will ask in the interior questions. Is that no? And then water soluble. And next, the presence of the protein. The main protein. Proteins are classified in the two diseases. What are that? That's a kwashiorkor and marasmus. You have to read it clearly. That's two diseases only the main responsibility of the protein deficiency. Then which age will affect the disease? Under 5 age, under 1 age. That is. And then food preservations. What are that? There are so many methods that are present. Why you want to preserve that food? Want to increase in shelf life. Want to increase in shelf life and then export. Decrease in food spoilage. Like that, they mentioned in 4 points. You have to read that. That's an interior 2 more questions. And the food preservations method. What are the methods that are present? And drying method, and smoking, and the irradiation, and cold storage, freezing, pasteurization. Pasteurization only you have to read in clearly because of they're having chances in the 1 more questions. Which degree Celsius, how many minutes you want to maintain that? The 60 degrees Celsius and then 30 minutes. 30 minutes want to maintain. After that, want to reduce it suddenly or want to reduce that degree Celsius. That means the 63 degrees Celsius are maintaining in 30 minutes. After that, want to reduce the temperature. That time, maybe any bacterial pathogens or the harmful microorganisms that are present will kill that. And then the additions of preservatives. Addition of preservatives. What are the natural addition and synthetic? Natural addition means what are the salt, sugar. What are the salt and sugar and oil? Where introducing the salt, where introducing the sugar, where introducing that oil. What are the example food preservation? You have to mention that. And then synthetic preservatives. Synthetic preservatives means what are that chemical substance that are utilizing, or during that natural process what are the chemical substance that are present. You have to read that clearly. And the next, food adulteration. Food adulteration means they are having 3 types. What are the naturally food adulteration, and then incidental adulteration, food adulterant, and the internally added adulterant. What are the different? Naturally means naturally itself they present. The example of poisonous mushroom like that, and then marine toxin like that. And then next one, incidental. Incidental means what? That's a carelessness. Carelessness, the worker, the food package that happened in the carelessness. What are that? What are the fact? You have to mention that. And the internally added means what? That's a financial purpose. That person's the motto in financial purpose, want to need more money, want to gain more. That I'm adding in some well known, but adding that. That is. And the food qualities. What are the health effect will come then after using the contaminated particles or adulterant food? In case if you taking means what are the health problem? You have to list out the some disease. What are the disease such as the diarrhea, like that, fever, headache, like that. What I mentioned. And then food quality and control. What are the agencies that are present in our government? You have to list out the agencies. And then when will introduce the law? 1954. When will make a absolutes? 1955. And then fruit process corporations will be started in the 1965. And then what is the main function of the ISI, Indian Standard Institution? And then what is the main function of the AGMA? What is the main function of the FPO? FPO means what? Food Process Order. And then FCA, Food Corporation of India, and FSI, like that. Okay. See, you have to read it briefly, the each and line by line you read, because of if you reading the line by line means you will get a more mark. In case if you read them specifically means it's not getting more mark. Okay. See, the next video I will mark your question answer in book bag as well as in interior. You must have need in your textbook. You have to arrange your textbook. If you don't have the textbook means just you pay your book fees in our school at 4 or 5,000. You are bringing your textbooks. After you commence with the class, I will mark the questions. You mark it means after you are reading clearly, you get even more mark. Okay. Thank you.